Calvin, are you aware of junk fees? Have you ever heard of the term junk fees?
I'm not familiar, I don't think.
Okay, so phone lines are open at 844-967-2789. So junk fees are added costs that can be added to things that you buy. Food delivery, hotels, bank accounts. These are hidden fees. Now just listen to the term of that. Listen to that term. Hidden fees. So there should never be anything that's legal about something using that's defined as hidden fees. So, but they exist all around this nation, and almost all the things that you purchase, there's some kind of hidden fee involved in it. Well, so President Biden is working to ban what is called junk fees. And so we just, because we don't know, the American people, I always say, in a representative government, it is shameful that things like junk fees can happen to we, the American people, because they're possible, because the very people that we have who are supposed to represent us make it possible for these businesses to charge us hidden fees that we don't know anything about. So California Governor Gavin Newsom, he just signed a new law that bans junk fees. And so there's been this hue and outcry from the people who are gouging us about, well, why are you doing this? Well, they never should have been legal in the first place. The Federal Trade Commission's proposed rule banning junk fees comes after it received 12,000 comments from consumers and businesses on how such fees impact them. The Federal Trade Commission chair, Leonard Kahn, said on a conference call with reporters to discuss the rule. Again, I don't know. When I use my credit card, I don't know that there are hidden fees every time I use it, that somebody's taking a couple other, dollars off of what, they're charging me. I understand the item that I'm purchasing. That's a fair exchange. I know what that is. But why should there then be additional fees, hidden fees that we don't know anything about? Who makes that legal? And why is that okay? So President Biden, in his, plan to address all of these different things that have been impacting the American people for far too long, and the monetary policies that happen, is now working diligently to remove all these fees. And there's hues and cries from the people who've been taking advantage of you and I for all this time, and robbing us blind. Businesses would face a penalty, for $50,000 per violation under this new proposed FTC rule. And so lobbyists for the businesses are pushing back because they clearly want to continue to rob you and I, the citizens of this nation, who all we do is go to work every day and try to make ends meet and expect for our government to do the right thing for us and not allow this to continue. You can look on any bill that you get from the hospitals. If you had any spent any time or going through any surgeries or those kind of things, all of these surcharges. Buy a ticket. I'm going to see a comedy show next Tuesday, and I'm sure on the ticket there are surcharges that I don't know anything about. And any of you who go to concerts or football games or baseball games or any of those things, there are these hidden fees. And most of us don't know about it. 844-967-2789. Well, I can tell you, they go into billions and billions of dollars in profit because the American people are being gouged. And the worst part about it is, once we find out about it, we individually have not been able to do anything to stop it. And so thankfully, organizations have come together and gotten testimonies from 15,000 Americans who have said, hey, enough of this already. Whoa, hold it, stop-o. But all of these things that we as Americans wind up, we talk about the greatness of our nation, the greatness of our country. But we need to force the nation to be the things that it says it is. And how great can you be when you're allowed to steal from the citizens? When businesses, it's okay to do that. But some guy goes into a store and steals a candy bar, and he's a criminal, and we want him locked up. But the amount of money that we lose on a yearly basis with these fees, clearly enough to maybe, $2 here, $1 there, 75 cents here, $5 there, all adds up. It's your money. When we talk about all the other things that we're up against and what we face, one of the things that I like to do on this show is to educate people to just what is going on, because none of this is right. So the FTC said the banning junk fees will also free up 50 million hours of consumer time, as they won't have to search for total price for purchases like hotels and tickets. So they spend 50 million hours right now, the FTC, working to try to figure out all of these different fees that are going on. We're issuing a new policy to ensure that the largest banks in the country play it straight with consumers. All of us, or the majority of us listening to the show right now, we all bank. We don't know about the hidden fees on your, what is this card called, Calvin? It's I've got it in my pocket. It's when you have money in the bank.
Debit card.
Debit card. You you see me struggling, but a debit card. So we've grown so accustomed to using the debit card. Do you have a debit card?
Yes, I do.
Do you use it a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I use my debit card almost every day. But I don't know about the hidden fees that are associated with it. And the majority of you in the listening audience don't know. And yet we continue to do those things. And then when you find out exactly what is going on and that you're being ripped off, and you get, I know I get a little upset, because I know that there are systems that supposedly are in place to prevent that. But if you can't get those systems that are supposedly there to do what's right because of something called lobbyists, then the whole idea of democracy has now been turned upside down and inside out. Democracy is more than, what many of us make it out to be. It's made up of a whole lot of different systems that should all work together. They work independently, but at the end of all of it, they should work for the benefit of you and I. And I don't care where it is. And if it's not working, and if it's not working for the benefit of you and I, it's working for the benefit of somebody else. And the fact that the banks can do what they do. I mean, I got a few credit cards, right? And it used to be kind of a prestigious thing. I remember, 25 years ago, you had all these credit cards, your wallet, and you could, a man's wallet had probably provisions for, maybe 10, 12 credit cards. And guys would flip their wallets open and let it roll down, and Hey, Calvin's got 12 credit cards. It was a status thing, right? But and then the one guy would come out and while you're trying to show all your status, and he pull out his American Express. And they would put all that to rest. But yes, look, we are in a point where consumers and these junk fees that have been really wreaking havoc on people who don't know anything about it. All we're asking is for businesses to be fair to us. That's all we're asking. Just be fair. And as the American people, we deserve that. We don't deserve businesses being able to take advantage of us. If we wanted that, I could understand the guy on the street corner, and I'm going to the guy on the street corner, and I'm trying to get a deal from the guy on the street corner. I expect to be taken advantage of. But I'm not expecting when I go to banks, lending institutions, or businesses that somebody's going to take advantage of me. I do expect my government to make sure that those playing fields are level and that we are protected from that. Because we should be. Because none of us expect this to take place. Let's go to Ken quickly. Hey, Ken, good morning to you. You say what?
Good morning, Earl, gentlemen. Yeah, I got some advice. Get away from the bank and go to a credit union. It's member owned. You're not dealing with one person that owns it.
Well, that may be the case for the banks, but I'm talking about, all of these different surcharges when you go to the hotel, when you go to rent a car, when you go to the airport, when you go to a movie, when you go to a concert. It's all of those different things, man. All of those things are lined up, and they take advantage of you and I. And so that's why it's important that we try to educate people on it. Thank you very much for the call. Appreciate it. The FTC will next publish the proposed rule in the Federal Register, and consumers can submit comments online for 60 days after that. So it's not done. It's in the process, and we got to work to make sure that we get it done. Got to go to a break. 844-967-2789 is the number. We'll be right back.